Darling, darling, you're beautiful. Gotta keep your head up. Never let anything bring you down. Sunshine will always come around. Stay strong, move on. You have such a beautiful soul. Let your energy radiate.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to your midweek yoga. We are going to just sit for a moment while I describe the breath work that we'll be doing for the theme today. Woke up this morning and it was a little bit gray and rainy, a little heavy. And I thought, this is May. So the theme for tonight is light and airy. So when we take our breaths, we'll be filling up the breath on the inhale through the nose. And on the exhale, just allowing the breath to fall out. So almost like a dryer tub, taking the clothing up and then just dropping it down. And that can come through the nose on the inhale. And on the exhale, you can do that through the mouth. Maybe to start, it's nice to do that, get some sound, get some movement going in the throat. And then finally, once we settle into our practice, we can work on that breath, breathing in and out through the nose. So the breath sort of sounds like this. It's just nice cleansing breaths that we'll be taking, light and airy. So please come to any position you would like on the mat. That can be in Shavasana, or that could be in active rest, which would be knees up and feet planted onto the mat, a little bit further spaced apart so that the knees can come in. Also, child's pose is an offering for tonight, as well as Vajrasana, which you can come to your knees or sit on a block on your knees. Feel free to come into lotus, half lotus, or in my case, Sukhasana. As you start to settle in, taking any last movements, we're going to perhaps close the eyes or lightly gaze in front of us. Starting with the breath now, the inhale through the nose, exhaling, inhaling through the nose, exhaling. And feel free to make any size on that exhale through the mouth. Feel free to flutter the lips. Maybe there's a little hum that comes on that exhale, but just really let it fall out. Imagining, if you will, standing in front of a window pane. And outside of that window is blue skies, bright sun, and some clouds passing by. So as you settle into your breath, maybe exhaling through the tip of the nose, just like we're inhaling through the tip of the nose. And imagine that perhaps there's some rustling in the grass or the trees or the leaves on the trees. You can see that there's a breeze going by. And that breeze is also carrying those clouds. So as you have thoughts that come up during this breathing practice, or maybe later on in the practice, just notice them and let them pass by, just like the clouds in the sky outside of your window pane. And on those inhales, imagine coming up the right side of the sill. And on the exhale, coming down the left side. Again, inhaling slowly, methodically up the right side, exhaling, releasing on the left side. Almost as if you're taking your hand and you're wiping it clean. And slowly you start to see a little bit clearer out the view of your window, allowing the connectivity of the body to the mat to just sink in a little deeper. Maybe the hips draw down and the belly softens as the rib cage rises on the expansion of the breath and then releases down on the exhale. Maybe now you can start to imagine your breath in the opposite direction. So the swipe of the glass comes up the left side of the pane and exhales downwards, coming up that window pane, exhaling, releasing, coming down. As the view becomes even clearer, perhaps some warmth from the sun's rays comes through as the shoulders drop down and the arms relax, fingertips and toes, maybe just a little wiggle out. And the face relaxes. And the crown of the head draws away from the shoulders. Just a few more of these inhales. Just those exhales, just releasing. No real force behind it, just letting it fall out the way it does, just naturally. Maybe filling up total space in the belly and the rib cage. A couple of more times. Starting to rub the hands together, allowing the palms to lightly place over the eyes. Maybe the eyes start to open as the fingers start to spread apart, allowing that light to come in. When you're ready, taking the arms up overhead. Of course, if you are in child's pose on this inhale, you might want to rise onto your knees, sitting back onto your heels. Exhale, allow those fingertips to come to the sides, to the mat. Inhale, rising those arms up overhead. Nice stretch if you're laying down on your mat. Exhale, sweeping those arms almost like little snow angels down to the sides. One more inhale up. Exhale down. We've completely inhaled and lifted that window open now so that the breeze is coming in on us. Slowly start to rise if you are in a reclined position and come into your easy seat or sukhasana if you are in a kneeling position. And if you're in lotus or half lotus or sukhasana, you might just want to switch the legs over in other direction, taking the other foot in front this time. Arriving together now, we inhale up, and on the exhale, letting that right hand slide onto the mat as we take a little side bend, nothing too crazy, keeping everything nice and loose, elbow bent, fingers soft. And on the inhale, rising up. Exhale, left hand comes down this time as the right arm comes up and over the head, keeping that right sits bones grounded. Inhale, starting to go with the breath now. Exhale for your side bends. Inhaling for the reach, remembering to let those shoulders drop down and back. We don't want them scrunching up to the ears. Everything is just nice and dancer-like and fluid here. And next time you are over to the left, that will be your last side bend, and we're going to meet in the center. Inhale. Exhale. Hands will come to the knees as we begin our cat-cow Sufi circles. So perhaps the inhale is leaning forward, kind of drawing the knees with the hands, getting some leverage there. As we come to the left side, we start to circle back on the exhale. The back sort of rounds here as we come through the right side, the chest opening up, chin jutting out on that inhale, and then circling back towards the exhale for cow. Really getting the neck and the shoulders involved, getting some nice movement, allowing the elbows to bend and straighten, really drawing back on those knees, using them for leverage as you come around. If you're in the back, Start to go towards the other side now as you inhale for cow, coming around the right and drawing back. Again, just nice, soft, easy, fluid movement here. And when you're ready, we're going to meet in center, coming off of our seat into table, curling the toes under, setting up nice alignment, shoulders over the elbows, hips over the knees. I like to keep those feet flexed. Nice little work there on the soles of the feet. Pressing into the left hand, lifting the right up towards the sky on the inhale. Exhale, we're going to thread it through, tap it down. Inhale, rising up. Exhale, tap it down. Inhale, rise it up. And this time when we tap it down, we're going to stay there, allowing our right temple to ground down on the mat. Perhaps that left hand comes up towards the top of the mat on fingertips. Pressing into the right back of the hand for stability, we can perhaps lift the arm up towards the sky or take the hand to the back sacrum. Just getting a nice opening here of the collarbone and the back right shoulder blade. One more breath. And on the exhale, planting that left hand back down, allowing that right arm to come up one more time before that hand plants. And we take the inhale on the other side. Exhale, tap it down, coming through. Inhale, lift. Exhale, tap it down. Inhale, lift. And on the next exhale, staying there on the left temple this time. Perhaps letting the fingers come up to the top of the mat, pressing into the left top of the hand on the floor for leverage. And maybe we can bring that right arm up towards the sky or take it to the back towards the sacrum, allowing those collarbones to open, perhaps the right shoulder reaching towards the ceiling. Nice opening in that left shoulder blade. Nice breath in and release, pressing that right hand into the floor, lifting that left arm up one more time to the sky. Beautiful. Curling those toes under, coming right into our down dog. Feel free to take a bent knee down dog. And if you want to widen those legs a little bit, just to ease up as we exhale, drawing the hips towards the sky, coming back towards the heels. Maybe walking out your dog. Maybe you're able to straighten one leg, bend the other. Noticing that outward rotation of the elbows really supporting the shoulders here. And then just settling in. You're going to take that right foot up towards the sky, a little bit of a lift here. And we're going to exhale, plant that foot right in front of us. Left knee is going to come down, top of the foot flattens. And let's just rise up here, little tiny Anjaneyasana, low lunge. Exhale, hands are going to plant down, kicking that left foot back. We're going to walk our hands around to the wide edge of the mat. Hands will plant in front of us, and we're going to extend that right foot. Toe is going to be facing the long edge of the mat as we come into some cat-cows here. So inhaling, the chin will lift, chest will shine, front for cow, arch of the back, hips drawing towards the shoulders. Exhale, we almost sit back on that left heel as the back rounds, chin drops towards the chest, and the head lowers as well. Inhaling here for cat. Exhale. Taking nice cleansing breaths here. Feeling that stretch on the inner thigh, a little bit on the calf, a little bit on the shin even coming forward. Meeting here in center. On the next inhale, pressing up, reaching the arms up towards the sky. Exhale, the right hand is going to slide down the right leg as we come up and over for gate pose. drawing that right shoulder away from the right ear. And on the inhale, coming up. Exhale, taking that left hand, planting it squarely right underneath that left shoulder, maybe kicking that left toe just a little bit more inside as a kickstand so that we can ground down on that lower edge of the right foot and feel a nice stretch come up the entire side body for supported side angle. Maybe the gaze is towards the ceiling, maybe it's straight in front, or maybe it's actually down towards the mat. Inhale, rise it up. Nice stretch here. Exhale, lower the hands, switching the legs. Right knee comes in, left foot comes out, toe pointing towards the wide side of the mat. Coming into our cat-cows again, setting up, arms straight in front of us. On the inhale, just coming a little bit forward for cow. Exhale, cat, rounding that back. Inhale, coming through. Exhale, cat. Nice extension of the pose here as the hips draw towards the shoulders on the cow and that backbone rounds on the cat. Coming into center on the next inhale, pressing up, rising up. On the exhale, taking that left hand now, sliding it down the leg for gate pose. Right arm comes up over the head. On the inhale, rising up to center. Exhale, planting, stabilizing that right hand. Maybe just kicking that right foot a little bit more so that now the left edge of the foot is nice and supported, and we can go for that reach in our supported side angle pose. And the arms can be up towards the sky or here at the hip, or even a little half bind, opening up that collarbone towards the sky. And feel free to gaze down or out. On the next inhale, rising back up. Exhale, coming down. Bringing ourselves back into our table, facing the front of the mat. Inhale, taking a little bit of a cow pose. And on the exhale, pressing up to our full down dog, Ardha Mukha Svanasana. Walk out just a moment. And taking the full extension of the pose, drawing the hips up towards the sky, and just that slight bended knee allows you to just tilt the pelvis a little bit more, get a higher lift. Maybe the heels come down, maybe they don't. Outward rotation of the elbows supporting the shoulders, nice spread of the fingers, and the palms supporting the wrists. On your next exhale, walk those hands back towards the feet for forward fold. Maybe grabbing opposite elbows with your hands, taking a little rock and roll, little rag doll, little shimmy, little shake of the head, really drawing the crown down towards the mat. Drawing the crown down towards the mat allows the hips to just lift a little bit higher. You might even be able to straighten out the knees or just bend and straighten those knees. Next, inhale, pressing the hands into the shins for a halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Then we're going to exhale to that forward fold, Uttanasana. On the inhale, rooting to rise, upward salute, Urdhva Hastasana. Remembering to draw those shoulder blades back and down as we exhale, hands coming into prayer. Grounding through the feet, maybe they're at hips distance apart. Feeling the rooting as we come into our mountain pose, Tadasana, feeling that energy come up through the earth. Knees lift, thighs engage, lower glute engages, perhaps that belly drawing back towards the backbone on the exhale. On the inhale, rising with the rib cage, opening the heart, shoulders draw down and back, arms just fall to the sides. Maybe that chin draws back to align the neck and the crown, drawing up towards the sky on the inhale. And on the exhale, trying not to lose that height. Maybe just setting an intention for your light and airy rest of the day or week. Next, inhale, arms rise up. Exhale, forward fold. Walk the hands out to plank as we come into our first vinyasa. Knees, chest, and chin. Pressing up on the inhale, low cobra. Exhale, curl the toes under, downward facing dog. Now we're gonna walk the feet up towards the hand, finishing your forward fold here on the exhale. Inhale, halfway lift, shining that heart, drawing the shoulders back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise it up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, Tadasana. Inhale, lift it one more time for upward salute as we exhale, folding it forward. Inhale, rise it up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Planting those hands down, walking the feet back. Inhale for plank. Exhale, knees, chest, chin, or Chaturanga Dandasana. Arriving at low cobra for your mini back bend, high cobra, or upward facing dog until we exhale, arriving all together at downward facing dog, Ardha Mukha Svanasana. One breath here as we take that right foot up towards the sky and just exhale, knee to nose. Really get a nice full stretch here. And on the third pump, we're gonna let that right foot come between the hands. Step that left foot up to meet the right. Finish the exhale on the forward fold. Halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, forward fold. Rising it up. Arms sweeping up towards the sky, Urdhva Hastasana. Coming into Tadasana on the exhale. Inhale, rising it up one more time. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift, forward fold. Stepping that left foot back. Just shine the heart for a moment before we sweep the right foot on the exhale, downward dog. Inhale, come to plank. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Knees, chest, chin, cobra, or up dog. Exhale, roll it out for downward dog. This time, taking the left foot up towards the sky, bringing the knee to the nose on the exhale. Inhale, sky. Exhale, nose. Inhale, and on the exhale, we're going to bring it right through to the front of the mat. Taking that right foot to meet the left, finishing your exhale, forward fold. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, Tadasana. Inhale, rise it up. Exhale, fold it over. Inhale, halfway rise. Exhale, full fold. Planting the hands this time. The right foot will step back. Let's just shine the heart for a moment before the left meets the right. Downward facing dog. Inhale for plank. Exhale through your vinyasa. Inhale, rising up for your back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog. 2 breaths here. Really letting the air just spill out, right out the top of the head. Right foot is going to reach up towards the sky. We're going to step it forward, leaving that knee lifted this time. Heel is really high, reaching forward. So arms are going to come up. I'm just going to bend into that knee a little bit. Exhale, pivoting right into our warrior 2. Left foot is going to just pivot out. Right knee is going to bend, warrior 2. Inhale, coming back for peaceful warrior. Exhale, taking that right elbow, planting it on the right knee, and maybe extending that left arm up overhead for extended side angle, similar to what we did on the floor. And again, taking any kind of creativity with that arm. Same thing with the gaze. I'm really liking looking down at the mat. It's really giving me a lovely stretch right here in the back of the neck these days. I really need that with all the screen time. Exhale, take those hands, plant them on the ground, and we're gonna slowly walk our hands around the mat. Left toe is gonna point to the back of the mat. Right foot's gonna pivot and come up on the ball of the toe, bending into that left knee. Reach forward, rising high lunge. Nice breath in before we exhale, pivoting to our warrior 2. Inhale, rise it up, peaceful warrior. Exhale, bring it down. Left elbow to left knee, right arm coming up and over for extended side angle. Playing with that arm in different positions, possibly playing with the gaze as well. On the exhale, we're going to plant those hands around that foot. Sweep the left foot to the back. Downward facing dog. Left foot comes up on the inhale. Exhale, we're going to step it forward between those hands. Rise up again for our high lunge. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, peaceful warrior. This time on the exhale, bringing those hands both down to the mat, coming back up on that back toe, planting the right hand down, peeling the left up to the sky, twisted lunge. Exhale, hand comes down, and we walk ourselves around towards the other side again. Right toe pointing towards the front of the mat, left heel coming up, bending into that right knee to rise for our high lunge. Exhale, pivot that back foot, warrior two. Inhale, peaceful warrior. Exhale, both hands come down. This time left hand plants, back heel rises, right arm peels up towards the sky. Twisted lunge. Exhale, we're going to plant that hand down, sweep that right foot to the back for a downward dog. Taking that left foot up towards the sky, bringing it to the front of the mat. Coming up on our high lunge, pivoting now towards the other side of the mat, warrior two. Inhale, peaceful warrior. This time we're going to straighten out that leg as we come forward, hinging, so we can have some contact with that shin, arriving perhaps in triangle pose. Right arm peels up towards the sky. Maybe the gaze is up there as well. Right hip drawing towards the right. Left rib cage trying to peek up towards the ceiling. Making sure we're keeping that distance between the shoulder and the ears. When you're ready, we're going to exhale, pressing up into five-pointed star. So we're actually facing the other long side of the mat. If you need to spin around, that's fine. Inhaling, nice stretch. Exhale, we're going to pivot the toes so that they're facing the outer edges of the mat, maybe more towards the corners. As we bend our knees, lowering for goddess. Nice out breath from the mouth. Inhale, rise it up, five-pointed star. Exhale, goddess. One more inhale before we pivot again. This time we're going to pivot our right foot towards the right. Left heel is going to kick back. So again, you're probably facing the back side of the mat, lowering in to that high lunge. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, peaceful warrior. That front leg starts to straighten. This time as we come down, right hand is going to hit the shin and the left arm is going to peel up for your Chikkanasana pose. See if you can really lean into that. Allowing that nice airy sensation to come and pass through the armpits, the elbow creases, maybe behind the knees. See what your feet are doing. See what your face is doing. No gripping, just relax. Bending into that right knee, rising up one more time for your five-pointed star. Exhale, goddess. So those toes are just going to point to the corners. Inhale, lift. Exhale, goddess. Nice outward breath from the mouth, really releasing any last tension or stress that's happening there. Beautiful. This time pivoting that left toe towards the front of the mat. The right heel is going to kick back. We're going to come right into our warrior two. From here, maybe reaching for a block, setting up for half moon pose. So I like to take my block, put it off to the left side, really stabilizing that left leg and that left arm, getting some nice 90-degree angles happening there. before I really start to engage that back foot. The foot is flexed as if you're standing on a wall. Again, the arm can come up. It can come to your hip. The gaze can come up. The gaze can be out, or the gaze can be down. When I gaze down, that right foot suddenly seems to get just a little bit higher. And that's just fine for tonight. On the exhale, coming down right into our warrior two. Inhale, rise it up, 5-pointed star. Exhale, goddess pose, really getting down there in your squat. Inhale, rise it up. Exhale, goddess. Inhale, rise it up. Pointing the other toe now towards the other side of the mat. We're going to get into our warrior two, setting up for Ardha Chandrasana on this side. Grabbing my block, stabilizing myself here with the 2 points connecting to the floor. Once I've made that connection, that left foot starts to rise, nice flex foot. Left arm comes up. Perhaps there's a gaze up towards the ceiling. And as I mentioned, when I look down, suddenly that left foot just gets a little bit higher. Try to keep that height as I turn back around towards the ceiling. It's all a little game, all a little dance. When you're ready, exhale, coming back into that warrior two. We're going to inhale one more time for goddess. And if you're not facing the other side of the mat so you can see me, feel free to turn around. If you can see me, great. And just taking that arm up, nice, really big stretch, really engaging the fingers on this 5-pointed star. On the exhale, the hands are going to come to the waist. I'm going to start to slowly hinge forward. If you would like to have a block for your wide-legged fold, you can bring it on over. Hands are going to come to the block or the floor. And we're going to slowly start to exhale, drawing that crown down towards the ground. The lower the head drops, the higher the hips can lift up. Again, if you're just here on your block, that's fine too. And you can even lean your head on your block right there at the hairline. Nice cleansing inhale through the tip of the nose. Exhale, just let that breath fall right out, maybe right through the crown of the head, right into the ground. Maybe the hands grab the ankles. Maybe they reach back to the back side of the mat. Just allowing everything to drop, everything to flow out. Pressing the hands now to the floor in front of the face. That left hand is going to stay planted. We're going to take the right hand to the hip, looking towards the right side, slowly starting to gaze up towards the sky. Right hand peels up. Forward fold twist. Nice breath in. And on the exhale, bring that hand down and go to the other side. Left hand perhaps peels straight up or just stays here on the hip. It's all good. And we're going to exhale. And again, just taking those fluid movements, just like we did in the beginning. Inhaling, that arm will lift. Exhale, it drops. Inhale, the other arm lifts. Exhale, it drops. One more round here. Nice inhale. And when the left hand comes up to the sky, we're going to meet back here in center. Slowly start to heel toe the feet together. Nestling in here for a little forward fold. Taking the the pointer finger and middle finger and the thumb, wrapping it around the big toe on the right side. So right hand to right toe, left hand to left hip. Start to look in front, find a little drishti gaze, maybe a little bend in the left knee, sharp bend in the right knee as we come to rise in our little balance here. So it's like a left side Tadasana. Engaging the knee, engaging the quads, drawing the belly in, lifting that chest. Maybe on the exhale, the foot comes out in front, or maybe you decide that you're going to come here into tree pose. Taking that Tadasana again on the left side, We can raise our branches, which is our arms. If you're just holding that toe on the right, maybe just the left arm comes up. Finding your gaze, finding your lift, falling in and out. Maybe the branches have a little movement and wave since the theme tonight is light and airy. Not forgetting to breathe. And when you're ready, you're going to slowly bring that foot to the ground. And we're going to step it to the back part of the wide edge of the mat. So the heel is going to be on the floor. The toes are going to be on the mat. Taking the left foot in front, the heel is going to be on the mat and the toes are going to be on the floor. So the feet are little railroad tracks here. And you know, I always cue railroad tracks when we're about to do pyramid. So let's go at it. We're going to inhale to rise. Exhale, hinge it forward. Again, if you need a block or 2 blocks to lean on to get your pyramid pose, exhale. Crown of the head is drawing towards the ground. That's allowing the hip to just rise a little bit higher. We don't want to overextend that left knee. So if you need to put a little micro bend in it, do so. And you might actually find that you get a little bit lower in your forward fold. Take some nice cleansing breaths here through the tip of the nose. Maybe try to let it all fall out through the crown on the exhale. Bending into that left knee slightly. Reaching forward and up. Sort of a little micro warrior 1 here. The closeness of the legs together should allow you to just reach a little bit higher and sink a little bit further back in your back bend. Maybe the gaze is straight up towards the sky, tailbone drawing down. We don't want to crunch anything up back there. On the exhale, we're going to reach forward as that right foot starts to peel up. Just pausing here for a Virabhadrasana 3 before we exhale, allowing those hands to come down to the floor or the block. Exhale a little bit more so that that crown can draw down. That's the cue to let the hips go up and that right toe to point towards the sky. The more you point that toe, just a little incremental height that you'll be gaining. The more you allow your head to drop in a fold, allows your hips to just rise and really open up that backbone. So beautiful. That is your standing split pose. And if it's in your practice to grab an ankle with one of the hands, maybe you want to balance and grab the ankle with both hands. And when you're ready, planting that right foot back down, keeping that bend in the front knee, rising back up through that warrior 1. Take your little back bend here. On the next exhale, bring that right foot to meet the left. Exhale, forward fold. Setting up this time in your Tadasana on the right leg, taking a hold of the big toe with the 2 front fingers and your thumb. Maybe the right hand comes to the hip for stability on the right side as we press into that right foot on the ground, lifting that left leg up. Maybe extending that foot or bringing it into tree pose. Try something different on this side. Maybe the right arm peels up towards the sky, finding your stability here in your balance pose. Checking in with the face, checking in with the toes, making sure nothing's gripping. Nice liquid fluid arm. Fall in, fall out. Just noticing if you are doing the same pose on this other side, how does it feel? What's the difference in the sensations? When you're ready, you're going to release that foot and step it to the back of the long side of your mat. This time, left toes will be on the mat, left heel will be on the floor. Right toes on the floor, left on the mat. Nice little railroad tracks here as we rise for the inhale. Exhale, pivoting forward for our pyramid pose. Allowing that crown of the head to drop on the exhale as you just let it spill out. Maybe those hips are just a little bit higher. Little micro bend if needed in the right knee. And just start to settle down with the breath, really connecting to it. Feeling that nice stretch in the spine, the back of the right leg. Maybe shake the head yes, shake the head no, or nod it yes, shake it no. Just letting it really be loose coming from the shoulders. Bending into that right knee again, setting up for our warrior one. We're gonna reach really far ahead so that we can arc up and lift for our little back bend. It's actually a nice back bend. It's just a small stance in the legs. On the exhale, reaching forward, allowing that left foot to peel up this time. Maybe just pausing in our little warrior three. Before we finish our exhale, drawing the hands to the ground, crown towards the ground, pointing those left toes, just getting a little extra lift, little extra pulse. On this standing split, if you want to grab your ankle, go for it. Just that slight little tug actually allows the head to draw down a little bit more. And slowly come out, lowering that left leg, keeping that bend in the front leg, the right leg as we reach forward, rising up for our little micro warrior one, keeping those shoulders drawing back, gaze up towards the sky, a little back bend. Nice inhale here. And on the exhale, step that left foot forward. Maybe the arms come together, or I should say the hands come together above the head. Maybe we come up on our toes. So I'm gonna just walk myself to the center of my mat, so I'm nice and cushioned here. Drawing the heels together, up on the toes, exhaling, bringing those hands into Anjali Mudra at the sternum, at the same time opening up my knees and lowering into squat. If crow is in your practice tonight, you may take it. If not, and you want to just settle into Malasana, I recommend just opening up the feet a little bit more so that we can flatten the soles of the feet. Elbows pressing into the inner knees with the expression of Anjali Mudra at the hands. So pressing in through the palms, presses the elbows to the knees, allowing that tailbone to drop and crown to rise. Malasana pose. Maybe taking some twists here, planting that left hand on the mat, take that left elbow, pressing it into the inner left knee. Maybe opening up that hip crease on the right side, just giving us room to reach up for that right reach from right finger to left fingertips. Planting that hand on the ground, switching to the other side, maybe opening up some space in the left hip flexor. If the right heel comes up a little bit, no big deal. Nice wingspan, nice stretch here. And starting to alternate breaths now. So inhaling for the lift, exhaling, coming down. Inhale for the lift, exhale, come down. Inhale for the lift. And let's finish up on the left side and come down. Walking those hands towards the front of the mat. The left knee is going to come to the mat and the right knee is going to nestle right behind the right wrist. Sliding that left leg back, flattening out the top of the foot on the right side underneath the left hip. Setting up for pigeon pose. Maybe coming up on the fingertips. Drawing the shoulder blades back, nice reach of the heart. Nice inhale, maybe the gaze comes slightly up the wall. And release, exhale. Perhaps bending into that left knee, taking the left hand flat towards the ground, right arm lifts up, reaches back, We just get a little press, a little more extension here. Or you can just stay with the bent knee. Maybe the gaze comes over the right shoulder or straight ahead. When you're ready, releasing that, taking the hands a little bit outside of the mat now, high on fingertips. We're going to inhale as the chin draws up, the chest comes out. On the exhale, we slowly lower, lowering the head so it skims the mat. Chin is going to come back towards the chest on the inhale as we rise. So nice wave-like motion here. Again, really airy, really open, inviting that air into the armpits, the elbow creases, the spread fingers. Arriving back here at the top, bring our hands back to center. Maybe one more time, just taking a nice little bend of that left knee. Slide onto the right hip, switching sides now, coming through table. So take a nice inhale here for cow. And on the exhale, just walk those hands forward and allow that left knee now to nestle into the left wrist. Left toes will be flat on the ground underneath your right hip flexor. And we're going to just straighten out that back leg. Setting up for pyramid on fingertips here. Nice inhale, opening the chest, drawing the shoulders back, tailbone draws down. Slight gaze up gives us a nice little back bend. And perhaps we exhale and bend that right knee. Maybe just staying here or pressing the right hand into the ground for support, taking the left arm up and over to just grab the toes for a nice press. Elbow lifts up to the sky. Gaze can be in front or over the left shoulder, looking back at your foot. Slowly releasing, spreading out those hands one more time on fingertips on either side of the mat. Nice inhale as the chin comes forward, chest opens up, and on the exhale, allowing it to drop to the mat, chin to the chest. On the inhale, as we begin our wave-like motions on this side. Finally arriving at the top, walking the hands in, sitting on the left glute this time. We're going to swing that right leg around and over the left knee. So adjusting your seat however you'd like. Left foot can nestle in under the right glute, or you can leave it parallel to the outer edge of the mat. Right foot plants. As we inhale. Left hand comes to the right knee, right hand comes behind the back for an exhale and a twist. Every inhale, the crown draws higher. Every exhale, the belly draws towards the backbone, and maybe we get just a little further in our twist. On the inhale, arms rise up. And on the exhale, we're going to plant them next to us on the left. We're just going to bend into the elbows, take a nice little bow for a counter twist. Exhale, pressing up and switching the legs. Right knee is under, left foot is over and planted. Getting yourself into position. On the inhale, both arms can come up. Right hand to left knee, left hand behind the back as we exhale for the twist. Inhale, maybe that crown rises a little bit taller. On the exhale, belly draws towards the backbone. And that gaze over the left shoulder maybe just goes a little bit deeper. Using that right hand as leverage for the twist. Inhale, arms, we're going to rise up. We're going to plant them to the right this time, bending into the elbows. Nice little bow for a counter twist. Slowly coming up and slowly lowering to your back. Maybe drawing the knees in towards the chest for a nice little hug. If you're feeling happy baby, taking the outer edges of the feet and drawing the elbows away, allowing the knees to just have space to draw closer to the armpits. And maybe just wiggling out whatever's in your practice, whatever feels good. Just keep it light and airy and soft and smooth. Just trying to calm the body down now. Feet are going to plant to the floor. We're going to raise that right leg up towards the sky, cross it over the left. So the ankle on the right is going to cross over the left thigh. And we're just going to allow those legs to fall to the left. So it's almost like a little cross-legged seated pose here. Maybe shimmy that left shoulder just a little bit more to the left. That's going to give you nice room to allow that right arm to spread out to a T, and the gaze can come to that right fingertip. And maybe the right hand just goes into the hip crease for a little self-massage. Maybe on the hip mound. Giving yourself a little massage on the thighs, around the kneecap. And again, I've been really liking these counter movements or counter twists. So I'm going to take my right hand, pressing into my right pectoral muscle, allowing the fingertips of my right hand to just kind of tap on my collarbone. My right elbow is going to draw down towards the bottom of the mat. And now my gaze is going to go to the left. And the more I turn, and the more I press, and the more I draw that elbow towards the ground, to the bottom of the mat, the more I can really open up and massage that fascia on the right side of the neck. Really nice relief here, and really beautiful to do this while you're seated. Nice press of the hand on the pec. When you're ready, release the arms. Draw the knees up towards the sky. Take that right foot planted down. Left foot comes up towards the sky as we bend the knee, taking the left heel over the right thigh. Slowly start to let the legs drop towards the right in this little cross-legged twist. Shimmy that right shoulder to the right, allowing that left arm to open up in a T, and maybe the gaze goes towards the left fingertips. Right hand can come wrapping around the hip, thumb massaging the hip crease, 4 fingers on the hip mound. Nice easy breath here. Taking that massage or self-massage down the leg, around the kneecap. And if that counter twist appeals to you, taking that left hand now to the pectoral muscle on the left side, really pressing down, allowing those fingertips to just tap on the left collarbone. Elbow again is going to draw down towards the bottom of the mat. That's what's really giving you the pull there. Taking the head now and turning the gaze towards the right. Really opening up that fascia now on the left side of the neck, collarbone, and pec. Actively even drawing that left shoulder away from the left ear. Just a little bit more. When you're ready, release. Knees will come up one more time for a little hug. And I'm recommending tonight for your Shavasana, maybe legs up the wall. Maybe there's a piece of furniture nearby. And just allowing everything to drain from the toes to the tops of the feet, to the ankles, shins, and calves. Even the knees draw down, thighs drawing towards the hips just melting into the earth, feeling the tailbone fully connected. Sits bones drawing down, pelvis maybe opening up slightly as the knees bend, just a little bit, just to open it all up. No need for super active feet. Just letting it all melt down. Now, again, you can stay like this if your legs are up the wall or on a piece of furniture. If they're just floating like mine, maybe the knees just bend a little bit more. As everything in the legs starts to slack. Tailbone connecting, backbone connecting, rib cage in the back, maybe even the back of the heart, just connecting to the ground, melting down. Belly softens, rib cage opening up, sliding back. Shoulders opening up, sliding back. Throat and neck releasing, maybe a little movement of the jaw, taking out any little cracks that may be happening. Checking in with the mouth, seeing where the tongue is. Maybe on the next inhale, opening up those sinuses. And on the exhale, releasing out through the inner ear. Earlobes draw back and down. Back of head just sinking in a little bit deeper. Maybe the tops of the hands or the palms of the hands just sinking in as deep as the back of the skull. Maybe even feeling the hips just sinking in a little bit more. On the next inhale, drawing breath through the area between the two eyebrows. Opening up any tension that may be in the eye sockets, temples, drawing it all back and down. And maybe this nice last inhaling cleanse of a breath coming from the tips of the toes, legs, belly, chest. Arriving at a nice open space in the heart before we exhale, and almost imagining that air just falling out, releasing right out the top of the crown of the head. Maybe one more breath like that. As you just settle in for a few more moments in your Shavasana. Slowly start to take a nice breath in, connecting it to your body, connecting it to some movement perhaps in the fingers and toes. Maybe slowly starting to release the legs if they are up the wall or on a piece of furniture. Maybe coming over to your side. Possibly taking a breath here in fetal position. Nice full breath in. Long, slow release out. Pressing into the upper arm, upper hand, allowing yourself to come into seated pose, head last. Maybe the eyes stay closed as we take a nice cleansing breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Maybe another. Just letting it spill out. Hands come together in prayer or hand over heart as the chin draws towards the chest. We thank ourselves for coming to our practice, thanking each other for joining in virtual space. I thank you as always for joining me, bringing thumb knuckles to third eye, a little bow in gratitude again, and wishing you a light and airy rest of your night, day, or week. Thank you so much for coming. Take care.
Darling, darling, you're beautiful. Gotta keep your head up. Never let anything bring you down. Sunshine will always come around. Stay strong, move on. You have such a beautiful soul. Let your energy radiate.